Hello and welcome to my English 250 experience by Matthew Wardlaw for the spring of 2015. My initial thoughts for English 250 were that I wasn't going to learn too much, and I was rather skeptical about the whole process because I felt I had learnt enough during English in high school. So when it came to this class, I was a bit cautious. However, I quickly learned that there was much I could improve and just add upon to my skill set. To give you an overview of the areas we'll be talking about, we're going to be talking about the WOVE forms of communication. WOVE is an acronym that stands for Written, Oral, Visual, and Electronic Communication, as documented by the ISU English Department. When it came to written communication, I always felt that this would be my strongest mode, as I had always done really well in high school, and this was the predominant method we used. However, I realized there was a few areas of improvement I could work upon. For instance, in my writing papers over the written analysis and summarization, I was given feedback that I should improve the descriptions and back up my sources and improve upon my ideas. This, I felt, it was something I greatly improved upon, and I hope to continue doing so in the future. Another area I improved upon was choosing a perspective to look at things from, out of the pathos, ethos, and logos perspectives. I chose the logos perspective, which is using logic to define your arguments, because I felt this would work best with being a science major. Oral communication has never been a particular strength of mine, as I've always been rather shy and not one to present my work. However, I decided that I need to change this, and so I looked for a method I could use to do this. I came up with treating things like a choral presentation, which I felt would help get me over my stage fright. And I also decided to try and keep it more freeform when I would speak in front of an audience. I decided to use cue cards to just give me basic ideas to go off of for my presentation on communication in class. Overall, I felt visual communication was my second strongest method of communicating, as I am a rather visual learner. So when it came to doing the visual analysis, I took careful notes to learn what would make the best visual, And ultimately, it came down to dividing my paper into organized chunks, and to also make sure I used a unified color palette so as to not blind people with random colors. The sum of my usage of electronic communication can be summed up pretty much as this presentation that you're watching right now. It's rather new breaking ground for me, as I've never really done anything like this before. However, I find it really fascinating, and I've done great amounts of research on this, so I hope I can improve upon it in the future. And speaking of the future, here's my plan. And my goal is to become a software developer for video games, and I hope to use my new skills in written, oral, visual, and electronic to help improve that. And to synthesize all of those into one area, I have decided to start a blog, which I will try and update it weekly as a way to keep myself honest and on time with both my work, and also to help further improve my skills. Thank you so very much for listening, and have a good day.